Lead this hour from Pro Bouncy Ball. This is the part of the show where we would break down the excitement of game number 4 of the NBA Finals. But that would be wrong because there is none. The finals are a dud. The basketball finals suck. Dallas is a fraudulent franchise. They're a weak number 5 seed. They're playing like it. But there is a story bubbling up around the games. The story within the story, which is much more compelling, much more interesting than talking more about a series which is lopsided. Now, this involves a popular opinion by popular people on who is responsible for the Celtics knocking on the door. They're knocking right there for a banner. So you might have seen this, but maybe not. Maybe you missed it. You think it's Jaylen Brown? You think it's Jason Tatum? Who do you think it is? Well, the question was posed by Sixers center Joel Embiid, and then the question was answered by Warriors big mouth Draymond Green, the podcaster. And they are in cahoots here, believing that the Milwaukee Bucks are responsible for Boston being on the brink of winning a title, getting rid of guard Jrue Holiday, who ended up in the Dame Lillard trade and then eventually ends up in the Commonwealth in Massachusetts there, and he was the missing link. Of course, before the finals started, we were told Kristaps Porzingis was the missing link, but now it's Jrue Holiday. Now, Embiid posed the question. Green took the bait, took a bite out of it, started chewing on it, and said that of Milwaukee, they did give the Celtics the championship. Joel Embiid knew the answer. Draymond, the podcaster, said, and absolutely correct, it did give them a championship. He stated Boston has done the job of putting it together. Got to give those guys credit, blah, 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 blah. All right, so let us discuss the question. Draymond Green, it certainly seems like Joel Embiid, they agree that the Bucks, they're in cahoots here. The Bucks trading away Jrue Holiday and him ending up eventually with the Celtics, gifted, in air quotes, gifted Boston the championship, which they have yet to officially wrap up and put the lock on that. But which way are you leaning on this one? Which way are you leaning on this? Are you in agreement with Draymond Green and in agreement with Joel Embiid or not? So I've got Manifesto, Truffles, and Wrestling Superstar. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to reach an understanding is what we're going to reach. Now, first of all, Draymond Green and Joel Embiid are player hating is what they're doing, and I don't agree with their take, and I'll tell you why. Holiday, who has been marvelous, he's been a chef's kiss for the Celtics in these NBA Finals, but I'm going to quote a guy that used to call the show and then was banned for life. Real talk. I'm going to give you some real talk. Okay, these guys, Draymond and Joel Embiid, just generically gave credit to the Milwaukee Bucks, but it's a misguided take. And these are amateurs. They're not tech experts, all right? They're not experts at the hot take and all that. So they just didn't have the basketballs to direct the missile at the right location. All right? The Bucks would make the Dame Lillard, Jrue Holiday trade 100 out of 100 times. Now, why would they do that? They helped the Celtics win the championship. Let me explain this to you. I'm going to explain it to you like you're 5 years old, okay? In their inbox, the Milwaukee Bucks ownership and front office received a passive-aggressive manifesto from Giannis Antetokounmpo. You remember? Because I remember. We talked about it. It was a ransom note. He was starting to squirm, just like every other star that's not in L.A. or Miami, starting to squirm a little bit, demanding reinforcements, sending signals that he was going to leave Milwaukee, needed a second star. And so the Milwaukee front office said, okay, let's get a partnership consummated, and they made the trade. And Dame Lillard is a better player than Jrue Holiday. He was a better player when the trade happened. He's still a better player. It's the Blazers, though, who ultimately flipped Jrue Holiday to Boston. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers, who aren't relevant at all, but they're the team that screwed over the Miami Heat because, remember, Dame Lillard wanted to go to Miami, the Dame train. And then they gave the double whammy because Jrue Holiday wanted to play for the Clippers. He's from L.A. He's an L.A. guy. He's from Studio City. Went to high school in Studio City. Went to the same high school as the Olsen twins back in the day. But anyway, that's aside the point. So Jrue Holiday is a guy who wanted to play for the Clippers or the Lakers, the evil Lakers. But the Blazers we don't want to send him to a team in the West, so they traded him to Boston. And then the Celtics paid him, and that's how it went down. But it was because Giannis wanted Dame Lillard. That's why the trade happened. And the ownership would not trade Dame Lillard in Portland, would not trade him down Miami way. They kept him on the Oregon Trail and sent him out to Wisconsin. All right, now, secondly, to Tinseltown, it's happening. It is happening this weekend, Father's Day weekend. JJ Redick. JJ Redick is going to officially interview for the Laker head coaching job this weekend. How do you expect this to go? That's also a sign that the ABC executives are convinced that the Celtics are going to win that game tonight. Otherwise, Redick would have to be preparing for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. But instead, it's going to be a sweep, and Redick will be free to roam around the country and interview for the Laker job. So how do you expect this Laker interview to go? So J.J. Redick was and continues to be driving the pace car. He's in the pace car. He is LeBron's audio alter ego. He's the one, when LeBron needs his toes licked, he turns to J.J. Redick. And so Jeannie Buss and Skinny Jeans Rob Pelinka and J.J. will sit together at some high-end restaurant eating lobster, caviar, and enjoying many plates of truffles. And they'll polish off some expensive wine. They'll finish the night with a nice, rich chocolate cake, and then they'll consummate the relationship. But from I saw this. I thought it was a good line. From showtime to woe time in Lakerland, J.J. Redick, in so many ways, is perfect for the Lakers. He's got no experience. He's unqualified, and yet he's the perfect guy because he's a narcissist and nepotism. He's getting preferred treatment because he's the chosen one by LeBron James. And the Lakers are downwind from a purple and gold toxic vapor named J.J. Redick. That's what's going on there. All right, now, final thought. Staying with the theme, because why not? We'll stay with the theme. So Dan Hurley did an interview with a podcaster on Thursday and said that his decision to reject a 6-year, $70 million offer to coach the Lakers was not a, quote, leverage play. He said because he already agreed to terms on a new contract with UConn. And he also said that the people who are peddling that hot take, he said, it's one of the worst takes he's heard, is what he said. Okay, so he doesn't like the take. He's anti-take. So Dan Hurley denying the Lakers' interest was just a leverage play. That was the money quote, saying one of the dumbest takes. Okay, is that how you see this one? No, I don't. I mean, think of the scenarios here. Right? The scenarios are, if Dan Hurley wanted the Laker job, he knew what the offer was before he got on the birdie and flew to the West Coast. So why didn't he take the job? Right? Explain that to me. And if he didn't want the job, why did he waste the most valuable resource he has, his time? Why did he bother flying out there? Unless he was actually channeling an old school wrestler from back in the day, a wrestling superstar. You might have to Google him because he's been dead for a while. Big Boss Man. Right? And Dan Hurley's like the Big Boss Man. He rejected a duffel bag, a literal duffel bag filled with cash like the mob. And he could live in Hollywood, which sounds better than it is, and get extra clout from UConn. He turned that job down to get extra clout from UConn. They looked more bougie, right? More bougie, and he has another recruiting advantage because he can say, hey, I'm the guy that told the Lakers to go pound sand. I'm the guy. I said I don't want to coach LeBron James. That's me, and I'm a college coach. When really he said no because it is a dysfunctional franchise with poor ownership and a prima donna who's really coaching the Lakers, even though he's not got the title in LeBron James.